Hello everyone, 'tis me. I am back with some more great life advice. So children, today's Q&A is based around the topic of education, because we all know who an education master is. If you're watching this, I'm assuming that you're currently in education and you need some help, maybe you've hit rock bottom, you're losing the will to live and you're like, oh my god, Han, help me out. I want to be like the big sister giving you some life advice, or like the drunk aunt on Christmas Day who suddenly thinks she knows everything about life. That's me. And if you're not currently in education and you're still watching this video, hello fellow education survivor. I am proud of you. Hope you enjoy the vid just as much as the other people. So the first question is, advice for people that don't know what they want to be after sixth form. Should I just choose subjects that I enjoy for sixth form and work it out after, or think more in depth before? Good question, my friend. This was me 2 years ago, so I feel you. I would say the best option here is to choose subjects that one, you enjoy, otherwise you're going to hate your life for 2 years, and two, choose subjects that you think are actually going to help you in the real world, aka business studies, economics, some sort of English that's going to help you write fancy emails. If you can, try and choose things that are going to incorporate into real life in any job, if you're not sure what to do. That's what I did anyway, and I chose media because I enjoyed it. So I did creative writing, business studies, and media. Pretty good mix. That'll be my advice for you, my friend. Lots and lots of Scottish people in the comments of my A-level video were very confused. Laura says, what is sixth form? I'm from Scotland and we don't have this, or at least we don't call it this. Is it like sixth year, as in the last year of school? Well, my lovely Scottish viewers, sixth form are the 2 years after GCSEs. Do you have GCSEs in Scotland? I don't know. So when you're 16, you take your GCSEs, which is like the exams at the end of secondary school. Then you move up to sixth form for 2 years to do your A-levels. It's basically like an extension of school to get a different qualification. So when you finish sixth form, you're either 17 or 18, depending on when you were born, obvs. So yeah, it's just kind of like an extension of school from the age of 16 to 18. Do you get me, my pals? Do you get me, Scots? Katie says, any tips for juggling subjects, like how to prioritise revising and homework? Right, Katie, listen up. Your teachers are going to forget that you do more than one subject. I don't mean to scare you, but they're all going to set homework on the same day. They're going to set big amounts of homework, and chances are they're not going to give you a lot of time to do it. However, use a diary. This is my #1 tip for sixth form, or GCSEs for that matter. If you write all your homework down day by day, right when it's due in, then you can prioritise which one is due in first. I always did that. Always smashed my deadlines, not gonna lie. If you've got something due in Wednesday and something due in Friday, do the one that's due in Wednesday first. Can't go wrong. Right, so the next question. Sarah's told me a life story a little bit. This is Sarah's life story. I find it really, really hard to motivate myself at home, and I'm really worried that by the time I get to revising for my GCSEs, it will be Easter and I'll have no time and drown in my own tears. Do you have any advice for trying to stay motivated and doing the work and putting the effort in? Thank you. You're welcome, Sarah. Right. My advice for staying motivated is a very old-fashioned way. I love a list. Write yourself a list. Right when you've got to get those things done by, tick it off, cross it out, put a big fat line through it. It is so satisfying that you are going to want to just purely do the motion of the tick, which will motivate you to do it. Or what I did at GCSE is set myself time frames. So I'd revise for like 15 minutes, have like a half an hour Facebook break, I'm not going to lie. But it was supposed to be 5 minutes, so do like 15 minutes, 5-minute break. 15 minutes, 5-minute break. Set a timer on your phone and throw your phone across the room so you're not tempted to look at that. Maybe after every 15 minutes of revision, you could reward yourself with a snack. My personal favourite was Haribo's through GCSEs, but snack choice is up to you. So try those things out and let me know if it works. But saying that, don't expect to feel motivated all the time. Everyone has down days where they're like, do you know what? I really can't be bothered. Take those days in your stride, stop doing work for the day, and your motivation shall return, or so I'd hope. Amy says, any tips for making new friends in college, as I'm so nervous? Right, Amy, I'm gonna hit you with the truth. The friends that you make at the beginning of the year probably aren't going to be your friends at the end of the 2 years of college. Take it in your stride, be nice to everyone, get on with everyone, chat to everyone. Don't burn any bridges before you've even started to cross them. If everyone has potential to be your friend, you're going to find it so much easier. So I would say just be nice to everyone, you can't go wrong, and eventually you'll fall into place and you'll become friends with the people who have the same interests as you, or who are in your classes, who you really get on with. Just chill out about it. Try not to be nervous. Don't go in there thinking, oh my god, I've got to be nice to everyone. Hannah said I've got to make friends. Just take your time and it will happen. I promise you. Caitlin says, what are essentials for year 10 and GCSE years, like school supplies? I would say colourful pens will be your saviour. For me they were anyway, because there are 3 different types of learners. These are the 3 different types of learners. Can't remember what they are, to be honest with you, but I know I'm the one who learns by looking at things. So if I wrote in different coloured pens and I made it visually appealing, I would take the information in so much better. So you could try that. Colourful pens, highlighters, and only highlight the keywords. Don't highlight the entire page. That will not work. And if you need one, a calculator will be your best friend. Daisy said, when do you think it's a good time to start revising for your GCSEs or A-levels? I think it is different for every person. Some people like to revise from like January to June. That personally would not work for me. But likewise, revising 2 days before the exam also wouldn't work for me. I personally started revision about a month before my exams because I have quite a bad memory. So if I was revising in January, I would not remember the information by the time June rolled around. But I also didn't find cramming information helpful the night before. So for me, it was about a month before my exams for both GCSEs and A-levels. But obviously I worked up to doing my revision. Like I would make mind maps beforehand and then revise over them, but obviously every single person is different. The next question is, how hard is it to go through GCSE? I think if you've got the right mindset for it, it's not that hard. At the time it seems like the most difficult thing in the entire world, and I'm pretty sure your school are going to stress you out more than anyone else. I know they have your best interests at heart and they try and help you through it, and they are the ones that give you the information for your GCSEs, but the amount of times you will hear, right year 11, your exams start in a month today. Right year 11, your exams are in a week's time. It is only going to stress you out. So take this with a pinch of salt, but ignore what the staff are saying to stress you out. If you take things in your own stride, do things at your own pace, you're going to find it so much easier doing GCSEs. Another thing is not to let other people's revision put you off, because if someone's been revising, like I said, since January, that might work for them, but it might not work for you. So don't feel like, oh my god, they've been revising for like 5 months and I've not started yet. Just don't let other people stress you out and you'll find GCSEs fairly easy. Do the work, keep up with your deadlines, but also try and have a good time and stay positive. Ding! The next question is, what are the other options after sixth form instead of uni? So during sixth form, probably not many people are going to tell you this, but you don't have to go to university. There are actually other options. So you could do an apprenticeship. If you're not sure what that is, it is basically where you study and work at the same time, and your work and your study are related. So say you're studying in media production, for a few days of the week you'll go and work with a media company. The other days of the week you are studying media production. You could just go out and get a job wherever, bish bash bosh, off you go. Or you could have a gap year. Off you go, fly around the world, learn about life, learn about people, make new friends, experience new cultures, then come back and possibly rethink your options. Do you want to go to uni yet? Maybe you want to start an apprenticeship. Maybe you just want to be a fully fledged adult and start a job. It is completely up to you, but those are the main 3 options that I know of. Do you have any advice when most of your friends know what they want to do when they are older and you don't? My advice to you, Lily, would be kind of like what I said before about not letting other people's revision put you off of your revision, because eventually everyone settles down, everyone finds their way in life, everyone makes their own little path. Not everyone does it at the same rate, so just don't stress yourself out about it. I always shamelessly said to my friends, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I never felt like I was less of a person than them because they knew what they wanted to do and I didn't. I was just kind of like, I'll go with the flow, I'll see where life takes me. And I was probably one of the most chilled people in my sixth form. Not so much at GCSE, I was a little bit of a worrier, and it did start to get to me that I didn't know what I wanted to do. But most of the people that have chosen what they want to do won't actually end up doing that anyway. You will find your way, your friends will find their way, and everyone just plods along on their own little river. Sometimes the currents of some rivers are just a bit faster than others, but that's fine. The next question is, I'm going into year 7 this September. Do you have any tips? Some people will probably frown upon what I'm going to say, but the first 3 years of secondary school literally don't matter. Those 3 years are kind of just you figuring out which subjects you like, what you're interested in, and then the real work starts in year 10 at GCSE. I'm not saying just mess about for the first 3 years. What I'm saying is do your work, treat every subject equally, don't despise a certain subject because you don't want to rule anything out before you've barely started, but make sure you have a good time with your friends before GCSEs get stressful. And this is the final question for today. It's a kind of negative one, but I'm going to make it positive while I try my best to. The final question is, will you ever regret not going to uni? My answer for that is I don't know. maybe I will regret not going to university at a young age, but I think everyone forgets that you can go to university at any age. You can do evening courses at university if you're working at the same time. I think the reason people are pushed to do it straight after sixth form is because that's when people have no commitments. You haven't got a mortgage to pay, you haven't got kids to look after. It's the most convenient time to go to university. So if I do regret it in the future, I can always go. It sounds cheesy, but I have always been the type of person who prioritises my happiness over anything. And at this moment in time, I am very happy doing what I'm doing. I am glad I've chosen not to go to university because I have always known that I didn't want to go. So I didn't stress during my A-level exams thinking I need to get this grade in this subject to go to this university. I was just kind of chilled about all of it. I plodded along. I feel like I got good grades and I am happy with where I am now. So currently, I don't regret not going to university. I can't see that in the near future I will regret going to university, but if it happens that I do kind of wish I went, I can go. So it's not the end of the world if you don't know what you want to do with your life. And on that note, that is the end of my education Q&A. I hope I taught you some stuff, I hope I chilled you out a bit, and I hope that whether you're going into year 7 or year 11 or year 10 or sixth form or university, I hope you enjoy it, I hope you stay positive, and I hope you get the grades that you want. So thank you for watching, thank you for sending in your questions, and I'll see you again on Monday. Bye!